Welcome back. Thanks for joining me again. In this lesson, we're going to go through CloudTrial basics. We're going to go through definitions of CloudTrial, look at a conceptual overview, look at the workflow for CloudTrial, and then we'll take a look at pricing. So let's go ahead and take a look at our definitions. So our essentials definition for CloudTrial is that CloudTrial is a service that allows you to track various actions taken while using your AWS account. So essentially, if someone on our AWS team was to stop an EC2 instance, or if they were to delete an RDS database, CloudTrial is able to track that action so that we can keep track of who actually made that change. The AWS definition is that Amazon CloudTrial is an AWS service that helps you enable governance, compliance, operational, and risk auditing of your AWS account. Actions taken by a user, role, or an AWS service are recorded as events in CloudTrial. Events include actions taken in the AWS Management Console, AWS Command Line Interface, and actions taken by AWS SDKs and APIs. So many environments are required to keep track of who takes what action on a particular service. And it could be required for compliance reasons or just for operational reasons. And CloudTrial is the AWS service that allows you to track those actions. So we're going to go ahead now and take a look at how CloudTrial works. So again, CloudTrial allows you to track actions taken on AWS services and resources. So Matt and James are on our Project Omega team, and we want to track what actions they take on our resources. So Matt shuts down an EC2 instance, and James modifies bucket permissions and grants public access. When those actions are taken, logs are generated. The logs are saved to the bucket in a gzip archive format. So now let's take a look at pricing. So there is no free tier usage available for CloudTrial. However, you can set up a trail that delivers a single copy of management event in each AWS region free of charge. You will, however, be charged based on the S3 usage because your CloudTrial logs are saved within the S3 bucket. So how are you charged for CloudTrial? Management events are tasks like launching an EC2 instance or creating an S3 bucket. You're also charged for data events. As an example, getting, putting, or deleting objects within an S3 bucket or invoking a Lambda function. You're also charged for usage based off of the amount of data stored in the S3 bucket, the SNS notifications that you generate, or based off of the use of encryption. So before making any major usage of CloudTrial, you should review the current pricing model to make sure you understand how you'll be charged. So now let's take a look at how you actually create a CloudTrial. So the first thing you would need to do is create an S3 bucket, or you can specify a bucket that you already have where the files will be delivered. So let's go under Management Tools and go to CloudTrial. And we're going to go ahead and click Create Trail. So I'm going to give this trail a name and call it Essentials Trail. Apply this trail to all regions. I'm going to go ahead and leave that set to yes. And what events do I want to log? So I want all events. So again, these management events are things like starting or stopping an EC2 instance or creating a new S3 bucket. So for our data events, I need to select if I wanted to monitor, get, or put objects for individual buckets. I'm not going to set any object level monitoring here. Now let me scroll down so we can get a better look at storage location. And under storage location, this is where we're actually going to have the logs stored. I'm going to leave it set to create a new S3 bucket. So I specify a name and I called it Essentials CT buckets. Remember, your S3 bucket name has to be unique across all AWS accounts. And you have the ability to use an existing S3 bucket as well. By creating a new bucket, it ensures that CloudTrial is able to have appropriate access to that S3 bucket. If you use an existing bucket, you would have to manually edit the bucket policy to allow CloudTrial to be able to access the S3 bucket. Under Advanced Settings, we're not going to change anything, but you could set a prefix for your logs. You could also set encryption and set whether you want SNS to send notifications whenever a log file is delivered to your S3 bucket. We're not going to change any of those settings. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit more and scroll over to the right, and there's our Create button. So that creates our CloudTrial. So again, the whole purpose of CloudTrial is that CloudTrial is used to track actions that are taken within your AWS account. For Project Omega, we're not requiring a CloudTrail to be created, but I did want to take the opportunity to give you some basics about how CloudTrail works. I am going to select my trail and scroll over and hit the trash can to delete my trail. I'm going to delete it because we're not really requiring it for Project Omega, and I don't want to incur any charges related to this trail. So I'm going to go ahead and hit delete. So let's go ahead and wrap up by summarizing CloudTrail. So CloudTrail allows us to track the actions taken while using our AWS account. We're able to track management tasks, things like creating an S3 bucket or deleting an EC2 instance. And we're also able to track tasks related to things like putting objects or deleting objects from our S3 bucket. CloudTrail then takes those logged actions and stores them in an S3 bucket. So that concludes CloudTrail Basics. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.